What's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of the King's Vibe podcast. Today, I have some known faces and a new face. So I got the Juice Man, I got Nikki two times, and I got my man Vince. So today, we want to talk about stress. It's still 2020, still a lot going on. It's still things happening. People are still restricted; they can't go anywhere. We're building a lot of stress. We're still having to meet up a lot of things that we need to do, but with limited resources, and that creates a lot of stress. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use our lives and the things that we've been through in some of our past experiences to talk about how we felt when we went through stress. How y'all doing, gentlemen?
We good.
Yeah, I'm stressed out. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
So to start, I think we need to define what we think stress is. You know, what is stress?
I mean, from my own words, I can only touch on like what I've seen and dealt with, and personally, stress to me is just like inner pressure that it's outsourced entity impacted on myself that I portray as stress, and I hate to use the word in the sentence, but yeah, so it's what I reflect as very important or something else, but there's different levels of what I'm talking about whenever I say my personal own stress. So like something minor, something that can be like fatigue or something on myself, or just internal pressure, you know, internal and external pressure on me to get something done or something like that.
Yeah.
Personally, stress to me is something that you just experience on a daily basis. You could have that task that's on your to-do list that you don't know how you're gonna get it done, but it's getting to you. So that's like stress that you go through on a daily basis. So that's a stress to me. Stress is something that I can personally think that I feed off, because when I'm under stress, I like perform better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like if I know I have 10 days to get something done, it's gonna be I might just do it at day 7 or 8 when I know that.
So have you always been like that?
I've always been like that.
So you love stress?
Okay,
okay, makes sense now.
Crazy, yeah. Like all my life, man, like I've always performed better under stress, because I know that if something needs to be done tomorrow and I have today to get it done, I'm gonna stay up and get it done and make sure it's done properly. But if I have 10 days to get it done,
It's more time, baby.
So I don't know. Like stress is something that I feed off. Like if it's something that's too easy, I don't know. I don't get myself. I'll still do it, but I don't get myself involved in it, because it's like something I feel like most people who does the easy stuff just take the easier route, but the stuff that you challenge yourself with will stress you out, or the stuff that's more rewarding because it's something that you take pride in, you know, like stuff that keep you up at night. What keeps you up at night? What's keeping you away from your family right now?
I can
What's
guess.
keeping you away from your kids?
Probably stress for you, huh?
I think it could be a lot of things. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah, so stress could actually be defined like, and there's some different type of stress too. There's a physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress,
Sexual stress.
Oh,
Hey.
okay, he
That's
went
real.
there.
That's real. We being real, you know.
Hey,
You never. Hey, we living in the age of 2020.
Hey, that's
People are
real.
locked up.
hey, that's fact.
Yeah, so that's different type of stress. So depends on what we're talking about. We can define stress in all types of ways.
Cool. For stress, for me, I'm just say probably moments in life that just challenge us and makes us uncomfortable. You know, when we get uncomfortable, we feel like maybe we can't control what we want to do throughout the day or in our lives or whatnot. So when we try to control everything around us, I feel like we cause stress on ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, when you want to be in control of a situation and you're not, personally, I feel as though, I got to overtake this and control this. And if not, I'm feeling stress. You know, once again, not to use the word and the definition, but, you know, to be able to go through life and not know, or to know that everything's not going to be in our control. And that is alleviating stress, which we're going to get to as well. But, you know, I actually had to look it up as well. You know, Google's always a good definition and whatnot. You know, I try not to use it, but this was a good definition. And it says, stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or a demand. In short bursts, stress can be positive, such as when it helps you avoid danger or meet a deadline. So, I mean, it's your body reaction, but everyone's reaction to stress is different.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone, how I may handle a situation, you know, you may not.
Yeah.
So
might not even phase me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think I define stress as any moment where you don't have a firm grip of a situation, you know, and again, a firm grip could mean that, you know, you overhandled it, you know, could be positive, could be negative, but you're not giving it the adequate attention that it needs that moment. You know, that's
good. I like that.
Yeah.
One. That's a good anchor answer right there.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's right. Whenever you can't handle stress in that sense, you know, that's when it becomes more stressful to a different degree, you know.
So if we're defining stress, obviously we all been in some. What are some of the signs of stress though? How do I know I'm stressed out?
How do I know you're stressed out, or how do I know?
How do you know you're stressed out?
So I mean, for me, there's different signs. It goes with levels too. Like that's that inner tingling. You know, sometimes I feel overwhelmed, anxiety, got a little anxiety, or you know, again pressure. You know, I got the little tingling on the side of my head, or maybe I got pressure behind my eyes, or even my eye might be twitching.
What kind of tingling though?
So it's just
pre-workout kind of tingling.
Yeah, no, it's just like a spidey senses. Like you just know something. Like they got that gut feeling. Like, oh man, something's about to suck. You know, oh, this is suck. Yeah, this isn't good. And you're just juggling too many things, and it's all about prioritizing and how you manage it. But at certain times, somebody might be throwing something different at you, and then you got something else piled on top of it, and you just got to sort it all out. And everybody has deadlines, so now you got to sort which one's of importance. You know, so for me, you know, signs are like your body getting weak. Maybe you got different cravings. Maybe you're like, okay, maybe I could put it off or procrastinate. I think that's a lot of people don't see procrastination as a sign of stress, but I do. It's like, okay, you know what? I got all these deadlines to meet. You know, I'm just gonna go to the movies and blow off some steam. No, I think you might be stressed about it. You need to go on a different approach. Or, you know, somebody, and different stuff like that. So I mean. And I've definitely hit like all of them trying to figure out how to manage it, you know, a lot of negative and positive outlooks. So, yeah, for me, it's just different things. My body normally tells me, you know, tingling sensations, or my body's getting fatigued, or something's starting to hurt or ache, or gut feelings or something like that. So
you think it being easily provoked might be one of them?
Yeah, you talking about signs or
as a sign of stress?
Can they be provoked? Yeah, I think once you, Peanut, he comes on the show a lot. He says if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta get ready, and I think that's true. If you stay informed, you ain't gotta get ready for that next, let's say, running assignment or whatever. If you are ready for that test, then you don't have to study last minute for it, you know, and stuff like that, you know.
Well, but it's one of the signs of stress being easily provoked, you know, something that might not even be as big as we think, you know, but you easily mad because you're stressed out.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're stressed and, you know, something minute, you know, you may not think it's a big deal, but you being stressed, you blow it up into a bit.
Oh yeah, triggers.
Big deal.
And I mean, just kind of related to like being on deployment, you know, think about how much stress is on deployment and how much people just get mad over nothing, you know. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely woke up in the morning, jumped out of bed, and got mad at my toothbrush, you know. I've been there, like, you know, what the hell?
What did it do to you? What did it do to you?
And I ain't even 5 minutes in the morning.
Almost chew the head off.
Yeah, maybe it was my alarm. Maybe I'm really mad at my alarm. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so there's things that can provoke stress, and you take it out on anything like a toothbrush, you know.
I think for me personally, sign of stress for me is me getting off my routine. I have a specific routine that I do, I get into every day. And it's like I wake up, I drink like a bottle of water, and then I just do whatever I gotta do before I get out the house and whatnot. And then throughout the whole day, I have a to-do list. Now, if those doesn't happen step by step, most of the time they're not gonna happen one after the other. Like, that's gonna stress me out. You know what I'm saying? Even though sometimes I'm the biggest procrastinator when it comes down to like doing stuff for myself. But when it come down to doing stuff for work, I know that, hey, this guy get off my plates before I leave the building, or I'm not leaving.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've done that.
So I got like a to-do list and all that stuff, and I get my to-do list done throughout the whole day. Like if it's not done before I leave the building, that's gonna stress me out on my way
So on a
home.
side note, what do you get to like really manage some of that? Like you got a planner, or you just keep it all in your head, or what?
Planner. Write it down.
Okay.
As soon as something come my way that needs to be done, that I drop it on the to-do list. Because if I don't, that's gonna stress me out because I'm gonna forget about it.
Okay.
And then when that person come back and ask me about it, that's gonna piss me off because that's my fault.
I feel like you're planning
You
to
know
get
what I'm
pissed
saying?
off.
So it's like
So
I gotta write it
forgetfulness
down.
is a sign of stress, probably, right?
Yeah,
yes.
I never looked at it like that, but yeah, I can see that, and they can tend to be even deeper in stress.
Yeah.
Because on the other foot, I get stressed out trying to get on that little program that he says that he has, and that if he veers off of it, that he gets stressed. So for me, I'm trying to make one, and if I can't make one, I get stressed out that I can't meet that goals or that plan. So
Yeah, I definitely think that to-do list could also be a positive or a negative because, I mean, you see all that you got to do.
Most definitely.
You see all that list of what you have to do. So it's like, man, like I already got enough going on. Look at my list. What I completed one, I got 12 more to go. You know?
So with that to-do list, you have to prioritize what's on it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So in all line of work, who's talking to you about like the stuff that you gotta do?
Mm-hmm.
Like if let's say if one of the boss comes in and actually asks you to do something for him, he just jumped to the top of the priority list. That gotta be done. So you gotta prioritize. Hey, can those wait till tomorrow? What's your deadline on it? Can you transfer it over? Like I have a lot of carryover on my to-do list. Like I don't keep paper on my to-do list. I just take it out and just carry it over to the next day. That way you start fresh. So that to just minimize the stress on yourself when you do stuff like that. That's something that I didn't used to do. Like when I was in college. I was a mess. Like we had the flip phone. You couldn't take notes on those, so you already know you got 9 buttons. So that's all you have. Yeah, exactly.
You got one letter in.
So that's something that I had to pick up on and start writing stuff down. And that's something that's always worked for me. Like,
Well, I'm
you're not
glad
gonna
you
miss anything.
I'm glad you bring that up because next thing we're going to talk about is how to avoid or minimize stress. You know, I think when you say avoiding stress, it's a little cliche. You know, I don't think that's a real thing.
It's
you know?
not.
Yeah, because
I agree.
I feel like if you're avoiding stress, you're probably not getting anything done.
No, I like to touch on that. So there's like most of my life, you know, I was always told like man up, don't do that, and that's, you know, ties into a lot of
Suck it
emotional,
up.
psychological stress. A lot of others suck it up. You're a boy, whatever.
Yeah.
And that internally, that stress, I just kept it in until it imploded, and then I had like a month. One day out of a month, I'd just be down on myself, or you know, just quiet, or just taking it out, or just whatever, you know, or just have a reaction, knee-jerk reaction, and that's how I let it off and blow off the stem, and then start the cycle all over. And that, to me, like you can't avoid stress at all. You got to come at it head on. I believe that once you face it and you know how to manage it properly, then I think you'll be in good standing.
So should we say we should try to manage stress or maybe minimize stress? Are they the same thing?
You have to deal with it eventually. Like, you ever heard of that say, like, this skeleton that's in your closet, you eventually gonna have to deal with it? Mm-hmm. That's what stress is. Like, if you don't deal with what's in front of you right now, eventually it's gonna reoccur. It's gonna resurface. So if you gotta find a way, hey, if this thing keep happening, what's going on? Yeah. What am I doing to actually deal with it? So if you're not coming up with a way to make it better, It's gonna keep reoccurring. It's gonna keep resurfacing in your life. So the best way to deal with that stress is to find a way to deal with it, so that way it doesn't keep popping up.
So
it's not gonna go
to
away.
branch off of what he's saying, as you're managing it, you're starting to minimize it as well.
Yeah.
Like maybe that person over there that's bringing a lot of stress in your life, maybe you don't need them as much as they need you. So maybe you need to say, hey, you point them to another direction. You help them out as much as you can. Now that's something else. Like you can't keep the stressors on in your life because that's negatively impacting you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so by managing it, you can also minimize it as well.
I think that's a good point about actually the people that's in your life, because avoiding stress, I mean, we may not be able to avoid the whole stress, but the extra stress, the people that we have in our life that causes stress that, is not required, not needed. If you have somebody in your life, regardless if it's, a friend or coworker, whatever, it's all how you react to that and how they put that stress on you, because people can put stress on you if you allow them to. Mm-hmm. And that goes off upon the individual.
That gets a bang.
Stacks. Hey, we don't want that. Don't bing me.
So it's funny that you say that, like, people that's around you can actually stress you out. Like, I've posted something on Facebook. Like, I think you might have read it, like 2 days ago. You are the only one who can allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So if you are accepting, like, if somebody, let's say somebody's criticizing you, saying like, oh, they don't agree with what you saying, with what you're doing, or what you're saying, or your line of work, even whatever it is. Now, if you take on that responsibility to head on to accept what that person is saying about you, you are stressing yourself out.
Exactly. I think
You understand what I'm saying? Because the only person that can stress me out is the guy in the mirror.
Yep.
Me.
Cat Williams said it best. It's called self-esteem for a reason.
Exactly.
It's how you. It's Cat Williams. He's all stand up. But it's how you see yourself. It's self-esteem. Nobody can control yourself but you. Mm-hmm. It's your smile. It's the way you look at you. It's the way you look at other people. It's you. So whenever you get good with yourself, with that self-care, is whenever you start leveling out with that stress. And maybe that stress ain't so bad.
Yep. Because everybody's opinion is just their own opinion. It's their mindset. Now, if they so happen to just launch their opinion at you and you accept it, you're that problem, because you just accept what that guy just said about you. That's gonna stress you out. I don't care what this guy just said about me. What do I think of me?
Mm-hmm. That's gonna impact you long term.
Exactly. What you think of yourself is what's gonna make or break you. So if that person is saying, "Oh well, I think you just don't know anything. You just slow," or whatever people say nowadays that they call bullied or whatever. I don't accept these things, because it's just not everybody's gonna have that same mentality. And excuse me if I'm coming some type of way that's attacking other people, but not everybody's gonna have that same mentality. I don't care what people think of me.
Hey, but that's something I wanted to ask you. I'm gonna hit on that right now while you're talking about it. So, what would you give for advice for people that aren't as, I'm not gonna say as confident or strong, but don't have that same mindset as you? Like, what would you besides like, don't worry about with them, because it's not that easy. Sometimes these are some of the people that like maybe scratch their nails, or maybe they do worry. They worry all the time. They got that anxiety or a disorder or some sort. So, what advice would you give them to help with that inner stress, like you were just talking about, that doesn't affect you?
Personally, like, I used to be one of these guys. I had to actually work on it myself. Like, I had to, sometimes I always have like long drive home, right? Sometimes I would just take a drive home with no music, nothing, just to relax and just
de-stress.
Oh, for sure.
De-stress.
Yeah, I love
what I'm saying?
Woo.
So
don't take my license.
So I think the best way, you gotta find your own way to deal with, like you said, the way that people think of you. Like, I stopped caring about what people think of me a few years ago. It's not something that's been long, because
So does that come with age?
I think that come with age and maturity as well, because I had to think about it. Like, if this man just said I'm stupid or whatever, what is his opinion gonna do to me? How is that gonna affect me if I don't let it affect me?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Because his opinion is not the evaluation of my life who's gonna determine where I go next. So
But are you are you saying you're blanking out what people say about you, or
Yes.
you just not letting it create a stress on you?
I'm
'Cause
not letting it create a stress on me.
Just so people are not confused, about
Yes.
that. I don't think he means that, if you say something about him, he's not going to listen. It's more so like what you say about him is not going to cause him extra stress.
not gonna affect him.
right? I think that's more like what we're trying to say. Is that
Yes,
right?
that's exactly what I'm getting
Okay.
at. Because certain things that you're gonna allow to actually enter your life, it's what's gonna make or break you. Like a lot of stuff that we stressed about that we have no business stressing about.
You better than me. I stress about it, and I'm gonna tell you what I do with it. Is like somebody calls me that, or somebody tells me I'm not doing well, and I know I'm doing well. Or I feel like I'm grinding. It's just I use it as fuel a little bit, and I like to achieve a little bit better. Like okay, I'll take it. I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't like burning bridges, even though I might not. My grandma always say don't say if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, right? So I take that to heart, and I don't try to be ugly, but. I use that as fuel, so that's why I was kind of curious on your mindset. For me, I do let it affect me, but in a different way. I take it and I use it.
Oh no, you like if somebody's gonna giving me feedback, and even though if it is negative feedback, I'm gonna stay there and listen, but doesn't mean I'm gonna take it in. So you have to be able to take in the stuff that's gonna be good for you. Sometimes those negative feedback you need those negative feedback in order for you to do better. In order for you to actually get to the next level, even though it's stressful. Some of those negative feedback, you already know what they are. They're just coming from that next guy that you need to hear it from somebody else, and you need to do those changes. Like it's like somebody who needs to lose weight, right? And they know what they need to do to get rid of the extra pound that they have, but it comes down to motivating yourself, or somebody like the old methods that they used to actually use back in the day. Somebody just bullying you to actually get out there and get it done. That's stress. That's stressing you out. It could be positive. You can choose that to be positive stress or negative stress. So that's based on who we talking to.
Yeah. I think when if somebody has a feedback on something you're doing, your life, your actions, whatever it is, me personally, I put it in a bag and I shake it and I sieve it. The good ones are gonna stay in there, or the bad ones are gonna fall. The bad ones are normally the stress. You know what I'm saying? So yes, not to say that I'm not gonna listen to you, but probably not everything you're saying is going in. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna sieve it before I even absorb it, because that's just unnecessary stress. But so what we're gonna do right now is obviously we've talked about stress, and we've talked about how we are trying to manage stress. We're gonna call somebody in. This is somebody who lives in Atlanta, works in a hospital. Obviously, it's still 2020. COVID-19 is still going around. There's a lot of stress that this kind of person kind of sees on a daily basis, and see what she thinks about what stress is. Let's see. Hopefully, she's not sleeping.
You know, stress her out if you wake her up.
Hello?
Huh?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Hopefully you were not sleeping, were you?
No.
Okay, so today on our podcast, we're talking about stress, and we're talking about how we deal with stress. I tried calling you about 5 times. It wasn't going through, so I'm already stressed out. But anyway, you live in Atlanta. You work in a hospital. How do you define stress based on these your location and what you do on a daily basis?
How I define stress, it is like a fight or flight state, meaning your body is in a constant stressful state. So you living in Atlanta is a constant stressor because you don't know if you're going to be fighting traffic to get to work or fighting traffic to get home from work.
Mm.
So, yeah.
So just traffic alone could cause stress.
You meet stress before you meet stress again.
Yeah, that's pretty much. So I can give you a great example. So before COVID, I started work at 8. I would have to get up at 5 to leave the house by 6 to get to work by at least 7 because we park down the street from my job. So that's why, and we share a parking garage with Georgia Tech and the construction workers and the movie crew.
Okay.
So you have all these people coming to work between 8 and 9 o'clock. So there's a line. Then the average wait to get into that parking deck, which has 2 entrances, is about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Good Lord.
And then
I know.
That stressed me out a lot.
So, yeah, that's a lot of stress. But another thing we talked about too was how to manage stress. You know, obviously, sitting in your car in traffic is probably a stress that you can't avoid. You know, but in the meantime, how do you deal with that though? How do you not let you sitting in traffic affect your day? You know, because obviously that's stress that you don't want to have to deal with.
So how I used to do it is we have a shuttle that takes us from the parking garage to the hospital. So I would walk. So that's like a 15-minute walk, a 5-minute shuttle ride. So I walk it off.
Okay. That's
So I just
legit.
walk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna take your advice and I'm just gonna sell my car and just walk every day to work.
You're stressed out. You're getting hit by a car.
Well, thank you very much for your input. You know, we definitely wanted to see how it is. You know, living in a big city and having to deal with COVID. It's still 2020 and dealing with stress and how you attack it. So we really appreciate you. Have a good night, and we will talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, bye.
I don't think she really touched on the car one, but I think some things that I do is besides listening to the radio, not so much like music. I listen to like not the news, but like Dave Ramsey's here, so I listen to Dave Ramsey. But sometimes I just turn it off and I just think or plan, or you know, either out my day going to work or on the way home. I just sit there and think about like what's to come. You know, 2 days, 1 day, 1 week down the road, but that comes out of that planning.
Yeah. I think it's very important though. You know, one definitely good way to deal with stress is to have a me time. Mm-hmm. You know, me time is very important, and how everybody expresses their me time is very different. You know, for me, I listen to music a lot. You know, so in the off chance that I'm not listening to music, it's very possible that I'm focusing on something. I'm trying to think about something. You know, that's my me time. You know, so I don't know what y'all do. You know, I don't know if me time even works for y'all.
Me time is really important, man. Like what I do personally, like even on my Snapchat, you'll always see after I do a run, I just state that I just came out of this therapy session. That's like stress free for me. I could just run for like 10, 15, 20 miles. Like for most people that hurt their body, but for me, it's just that me time, being alone, just doing something that I'm controlling my breathing and taking care of my body. Like that's just relieving stress for me. I always like majority of the time, 90% of the time, I'm running after work because that relieves the stress. I don't think about anything else. Just listening to music and just running. And I would just run for a good hour or so, sometime over an hour.
You stressing me out just
Yeah.
talking about it.
That's good. I agree that running's a good stress
Yeah.
relief. Yeah.
And this just something that you just by yourself, just thinking about what you need to do, and just running, controlling your breathing, just breathe in and breathe out. And another thing that you can do is, I hate to say, yoga. That's something that I participate in. I know.
Do you?
I do.
Hey, do the split. I can't. Now or no, I can't do none of that.
I'm telling you.
Yoga, meditation.
Yoga,
Meditation,
meditation,
Zen, all that good stuff. That
meditation. Yes, if you sit there and meditate, and that relieves so much stress. Just try it. If you haven't, try it. Stay in a quiet room, or when you have like background music, like none of those, trap music or whatever. I'm talking like background calm music.
I ain't got no trap
and
yoga.
White noise.
Yeah, just it could just be it's raining outside type thing, and just relax, just sit in
That
one
sound like a
position.
vacation, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
I might try it if you tell it. Hey, I'm all for it except for the yoga, but I'll try it if you tell me all that.
I'm just saying, like, try it. It's a lot of stuff that you can relieve stress with. You just gotta find what's useful for you.
Hey, speaking of music and sounds and white noise and all that stuff, so and this is just one of the things we used to do while I was on the blues is we used to listen to Indian flute music. I know that sounds. I know that sounds weird, bro. I'm talking about the feather, not the dot, right? So we used to listen to it, and it's relaxing. We close our eyes and we just be meditating in a minivan. All of us would be stress free, running towards these jets, like just going. But yeah, so that's one of the things that we would do, and something that I learned. I used to pull pranks on people. I'd go play the music for them in their rooms, and they just fall asleep before they go out. Like they wouldn't even go out, you know. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff. I definitely agree with the running and self care. But myself, I'm bougie. I do the mask. I do the self care. Like I'm there. Like I'm out here, dude. Like hey, yes, pluck that eyebrow. Yes, get that. You know, like hey, I cut my own hair. You know, I think that's a good meditation for me. You know, I can just see myself in the mirror. I got these 3-point mirrors. I cut my own hair. That's a good time to reflect. And all that other good stuff. Also, to counter, I put positive stress on myself. I put different goals like my masters and different effects on that side. Like what can I do for self growth? Like right now I'm trying to do a realty license, or and writing a book and all this other crazy stuff. I'm just trying to do different outward entities for positive stress so I can manage as a whole. That's for a different level of growth. That's something I think of.
Yeah. For me, it got to be my motorcycle. When I'm out there on a motorcycle.
Vroom, vroom.
No, I hear it a lot.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
I hear it a lot. What is
agree.
it about a motorcycle though?
I
That's
agree.
stressful? I think I'm gonna kill myself.
I
really
feel like
do.
you gotta ride in order to know. Like I can't explain it for you to even know. Like you just gotta
Is it
get
the
out there on
wind?
the
Is
road.
that the wind? You can't.
I couldn't even explain it honestly. It's just riding a motorcycle. You're in your own world. It's kind of like running.
Hey, so what motorcycle you got?
I got a CBR 600 right now.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but okay.
I never understood. I agree with him with the motorcycle part too. I never understood what it was about. Like, I have a Harley. Like, I would go down all the way out to Alabama for miles just riding.
Alabama, I hear is a good spot to ride. Yeah.
Just riding out there, not thinking about anything. It's just free. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have. Sometimes I don't have music in my ears. I have the options, but I just let the rain blow and just go for a ride and enjoy the bike ride. So it's something that if you're not a rider, man, that you won't get it.
Yeah.
Well, so what's the difference between a Harley and on like a self care stressor? Like what's the difference?
I mean, you way more comfortable on a Harley. I'm on a sports bike, so you sit back.
So you still got stressors, like at least like physical. No, I don't know. See,
Sort of, kind of. I mean, you bent over on a sports bike,
Okay.
But I mean, we still. You got the need for speed on some things,
Okay, so that's the stress really be like I'm a give and take relationship.
You get a little crank of the wrist real quick, just kind of free yourself. I mean, people like roller coasters. Some people feel like that kind of relates to it, but for me it doesn't. But
Let's just say on the Harley, like sport bikes is what I'm sitting on right now. A Harley is this chair over there, you just kicked up, you're on a couch, so you just relax the whole time. So that's all it is.
Yeah.
so,
But that's no, go ahead.
I say the motorcycle, and then I'll say prayer. I mean, to me, meditation, prayer. I mean, prayer is a big thing.
Yes.
Whoever you may, pray to or whatever. But for me, I mean, just God time, having that quiet room, closet, whatever, by yourself, me time, as we have referred beforehand. But just having that me time, just to, think about all the things that you've done throughout the day, the week, the month. Just reflecting upon yourself and just knowing that. It's more than just you, higher power, to know that, you're just blessed to see another day. I mean, you got that saying, and it's cliche as well, too blessed to be stressed, but I mean, it's real, you got a lot of more blessings than you have stressors, and if you look at it that way, I feel like the positive light of that will definitely allow you to, go day in and day out knowing that no stress can overtake you if you don't let it.
I got motivated off of that. Off that strip. I'm about to go home and do some yoga and white noise and pray, and then I might even buy a bike or two. You know? And if all else fails, I get an ice cream. You know, you never know.
That's a lot of good inputs, man. We definitely appreciate it. I think we're gonna wrap up this part and we're gonna bring you a part 2. But in the part 2, we're gonna talk about how we've dealt with stress on a personal level. And I have one crazy story to share. You definitely don't want to miss this.
Oh, so part 2 is gonna be better.
Oh man, I didn't want to put it like that, you know. But
hey, I'm excited. I want to hear it.
But thank you very much for sticking with us, and make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can bring you more. Take care. We'll see you out there.